So back when I was 18, I went on an airplane for the first time in my life, and it was pretty cool. I got to watch movies, I got to eat food, I got to sit in a chair. It was a great time, but what wasn't a great time was the airport. Airports suck, and aside from the airport being a giant labyrinth that I have no clue how to traverse, the worst part is the TSA. When I went to the airport, I had to go through the TSA for the first time in my life, and the TSA is pretty scary. You got to take off your shoes, take out your laptops and phone, no liquids. These people look so depressed and they're so strict. It's not a fun part of the airport at all. Not that there really is a fun part, but I remember the first time I went through the metal detector, I thought I was gonna die. What happened was when they put me through the metal detector, the thing went off because apparently I had metal on me, which I was confused about because I put my phone and all my stuff on the belt so it wouldn't be on me. But when I looked at the screen that they had, there was no metal in my pockets, but it showed that there was metal in the middle of my chest. And bro, let me tell you, I was so scared when I saw that because my paranoid ass thought the government put like some tracking chip in my heart or something like that while I was asleep or getting surgery or something, and that's what the metal that was beeping was. But it wasn't that. It was actually the cross that I forgot I was wearing, and then I took it off and I went through and it was all chill. Now the flight I was taking was to Greece, and when we got to Athens airport, the TSA there is the complete opposite of what's going on in America. These people were chill as fuck, just laid back chilling. When I had to go through the TSA there, I was so confused because I didn't see anyone taking off their shoes. So I asked the guy, I was like, hey, do we need to take off our shoes? And he's like, what? Do you need to take off your shoes? Why would you need to take off your shoes? Come on, keep your shoes on, just go through. And I was like, yo, this is the best TSA ever. But they really were chill, and this was actually most noticeable during a specific point where I was causing a bit of a problem on my way back to America. See, as we were going through TSA and I was taking my electronics out of the bag, I forgot to take out my brother's DS, and I figured that since that's an electronic device, I gotta get that shit out of the bag ASAP. So I started opening my bag, but I couldn't find it because there's mad shit inside the bag. So I started aggressively rummaging through the bag so I can get it out in time before it's my turn to go through the scanner. Now let me give you one small piece of advice when you're in an airport. The one thing that you should never do in front of TSA or in any airport in general is aggressively rummage through a bag. That's the last thing you should ever do. If I was in JFK airport doing that shit, I would have gotten shot 15 times and then they would have shot the DS 15 times too. Never do that shit. But luckily I was in Greece, so the guy was like, hey, what are you doing? What are you looking for? But like not in a scary, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't answer me way. So I didn't say anything and I kept searching. But the thing is, I didn't say anything because I didn't know how to answer this guy. See, in Greece, you can't just tell the guy I'm looking for my Nintendo DS because he's not gonna know what the fuck that means. And not even because they don't speak English, because they do speak English. But when it comes to pronouncing English words with a Greek accent, it just sounds very strange. Let me explain. When I was in Greece, I stopped by a fast food place called Goodies, and everything there is in English. The menu, the sign, the posters, everything's in English. So I'm looking at the menu as I'm ordering, and I noticed that they sold brownies, and I was hyped because I fuck with brownies. So I said to the cashier, "Borona con a brownie," and she's like, "What? What is that?" And I'm like, "Can I get a brownie? It's on the menu right there." And she's like, "I don't know what that is." And I said for the third time, "It's literally right there. It says chocolate brownie." And I kid you not, this lady looks at me dead in the face and says, "Oh, you mean sweet brownie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you fucking Nazi, sweet brownie. That's what I fucking want." And I got my sweet brownie, but it was so weird how she pronounced it. And this wasn't just like a one-time thing. I noticed this so many times. I was at an internet cafe and they had a PS4 available to play on, but some lady there was asking if they also had Xbox, and the dude there didn't know what an Xbox was until he was finally like, "Oh, you mean Xbox?" And also the kid in the house next to mine called Spider-Man Spider-Man. So it was everybody who had a weird fucking way of saying English words, not just this one person. So now I'm in the airport trying to leave Greece with this in mind, and I'm like, if I say Nintendo DS to this guy, I might as well tell him I'm looking for my because he's not gonna understand what the fuck I'm saying. But what I can say is I'm looking for my Nintendo, and he'll probably understand. So that's what I did. The guy was like, "Digi Devis Deep Saknis," and I was like, Nintendo. And he was like, "Oh, Nintendo, don't worry, just leave it inside." And I cracked the code. I cracked it. He finally understood. So this is a lesson for anyone who is traveling to Greece. If there is a word in English that you are trying to say but they don't understand, just think to yourself, how would Adolf Hitler pronounce it? And say it like that, and they'll probably understand it. And this isn't a diss to Greek people. I love Greek people, and even I pronounce English words weird too. Everyone makes fun of how I say coffee. But anyway, that was my story about the time I caused problems in the airport. And if you're Greek, please don't be mad at me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a great fucking day.